Heidegger on authenticity. Are you living your own life? The question of whether we are truly living our own lives is perhaps one of the most profound and unsettling inquiries we can pose to ourselves. It is a question that cuts through the noise of daily routines, societal expectations, and the relentless pursuit of temporary gratification. For the 20th century German philosopher Martin Heidegger, this was not merely a psychological or moral puzzle, but the central pivot of his monumental work, Being and Time. He framed this ultimate concern using the stark, yet deeply resonant, terms of authenticity, Eigentlichkeit, and inauthenticity, Uneigentlichkeit. The everydayness of inauthenticity, falling into the they. Heidegger argued that for the vast majority of our lives, we exist in a state of inauthenticity. This is not a judgment of moral failure, but a description of our default mode of existence, which he terms everydayness. We are constantly immersed in a world defined by the they, das Man. The they is an impersonal, anonymous, and tyrannical social authority that dictates how we should act, think, feel, and speak. It's the silent majority, the collective common sense, the pervasive voice of public opinion. When we are in the they, we are relieved of the burden of choice. We do what one does. One takes the train to work. One enjoys this type of music. One should be successful by a certain age. In this existence, our individual identity is submerged. We are simply them, a replaceable, interchangeable cog in the social machine. The key danger of this mode is not malice, but tranquilizing conformity. By living as the they, we perpetually defer our own possibilities to the standards of others. We think we are making choices, but we are merely executing the prescriptions already laid out for us by the anonymous they. Our life is thus lived not by us, but through the dictates of the general public. We become lost in the familiarity of the known, avoiding the terrifying freedom of genuine self-determination. The wake-up call, anxiety, and the confrontation with death. If inauthenticity is our natural, comfortable slumber, what is the alarm clock that shatters this dream? For Heidegger, it is the experience of anxiety, Angst. Crucially, this is not the localized, object-specific fear, Furcht, of a barking dog or a tight deadline. Anxiety is a mood that arises in the face of nothingness, the realization that the familiar world, with all its ready-made meanings and structures, ultimately provides no ultimate foundation for our existence. Anxiety reveals our fundamental state as being toward death, Sein zum Tode. Death, for Heidegger, is not an event that happens at the end of life. It is an imminent, non-relational, and certain possibility that defines life from the moment we are born. It is the ultimate and most certain possibility that is our own and non-transferable. No one can die for you. Confronting this certainty of death forces us out of the comfortable distraction of the they. It reveals the finiteness of our time and the urgency of our choices. The anonymous, public world of them suddenly loses its power because its rules and rewards will cease to matter when death arrives. Anxiety, therefore, is the call of conscience, summoning us back to our singular, non-relational self. Resolving to be, the leap into authenticity. Authenticity is the self's response to this call. It is not attained by withdrawing from the world or by finding some esoteric inner true self. Instead, authenticity is an act of will, a resolutionness, Entschlossenheit. Resolutionness is the decisive, clear-eyed acceptance of our own finiteness and freedom. It means 1. Anticipating death, not morbidly dwelling on it, but holding the certainty of one's own death as a permanent horizon for all choices. This perspective clarifies which possibilities are genuinely mine and which are merely prescribed by the they. 2. Choosing oneself, taking over and owning the concrete situation into one has been thrown, Geworfenheit, your historical context, your family, your abilities. Authenticity does not mean creating a self from nothing. It means choosing how you will exist within the possibilities and limitations that are already yours. 3. Taking on guilt. Accepting the fundamental nullity of existence, the fact that in every choice you are not choosing countless other possibilities. This guilt is not moral, but ontological. It's the burden of having to be free and having to choose one's being from a field of possibilities that one did not create. In essence, the authentic individual takes over the burden of their own being. They act not based on what one does, but on a chosen projection of their most genuine possibilities, which are clarified by the silent, non-negotiable reality of their own finiteness. This doesn't mean becoming a rugged individualist who ignores society. An authentic person can still participate in public life, but their choices are owned and grounded in their own resolutionness, rather than merely reflecting the convenient anonymity of the crowd. A life lived on loan. Heidegger's philosophy offers a powerful and sobering lens through which to examine our own existence. Are you genuinely responding to the unique possibilities that your life and your inevitable death present? Or are you simply performing a script that has been written for you by the endless, whispering demands of the they? To live authentically is to consistently ask the hardest question: is this choice mine? It is a constant, exhausting struggle to reclaim one's existence from the public, anonymous domain. It is choosing to be the unique author of your life, even if the only certainty in the narrative is its finite conclusion. The ultimate reward is not happiness or success as defined by the they, but the profound realization that you have, at every decisive moment, truly lived your own life. If this deep dive into Heidegger has challenged the way you see your own choices and existence, then the conversation has only just begun. Smash that like button to help bring this crucial philosophy to more people who are searching for their own authenticity. Leave a comment below and share. What is one area of your life where you feel you've been living according to the they? And finally, subscribe for more explorations into the ideas that truly matter.